Herd instinct. What is herd instinct? Herd instinct is generally defined as following the herd, following the group. In a group, there is always a security. When you are alone, it's very scary. That's all. Herd instinct means there is security in a group. When you are part of any group, there is a sense of security. Larger the group, greater the security. Smaller the group, less secure. All by yourself, you can't handle that. You are totally insecure. You can't handle that. Therefore, what happens? Herd instinct means seeking security. Seeking security in the sense of somebody has done it, the road is already there. Whether the road is taking you to your destination or not is not the point. There is a road that is already there, which you don't have to worry. So you start walking. That is herd instinct. Again, I repeat. Whether the road is taking you to your destination, nobody bothers. Nobody cares. Wherever the road takes you becomes a destination. As the herd instinct. You will not decide anything. The road takes you, and definitely the road will lead to somewhere. It will lead to. So what you will do, wherever the road leads you, you take that. This is called herd instinct. So very important is to understand the herd instinct functioning of the human being, which is what we discussed last week. To make the road means you have to be the first person that is walking. That is always scary. If you have to make the road, you have to walk. It means you are the one who has to get exposed to all the dangers, because the first person walking never knows where it is leading to. So wherever somebody has gone and found some security, it is easy to follow that path. That is called herd instinct. That road that person laid is useful for that person's journey. It's not like the public road where everybody can use. The road that is laid by that person is very useful for that person. Rest following that road will not end up in the destination as to where he or she reached. We will reach somewhere, but definitely not where we intend to reach. This is the definition of herd instinct. Yeah. Adaki is giving an example. Very beautiful example. Marriage as an institution is taken as an example to see how everybody takes to the road and reaches what is the road that marriage is supposed to take you to, and where does a human being end up? Are you able to understand the difference? Herd instinct, and what is herd instinct means? A road. Somebody has walked the road. It's easy for you to walk that road and reach that destination. This is called herd instinct. Marriage as an example is taken. Now the institution of marriage, see it as a road. Where it is going to, what is that road ultimately leading to, or ideally what is that road should lead to, and where it is leading people today. That's the difference. Please. The institution of marriage is not spoken For or against. We are not talking for marriage. We are not talking against marriage. அது அது வந்து கோஷ்டி ஃபைட், isn't it? அது கோஷ்டி, some கோஷ்டி you will join and you have to keep fighting with somebody else. So we are not discussing in terms of for marriage or against marriage. How marriage as an institution has become the herd instinct. See, two institutions have become herd instinct. One is education, another is marriage. One is education, another is marriage. Herd instinct, isn't it? Here, marriage is taken as an example. Before we go into the reasons and all that, let us briefly discuss what is this institution of marriage. What is that? Ideally, where is it supposed to lead you to? Ideally, where is it supposed to lead you to? The human life is divided in 4 stages: student life, householder life, vanaprastha, sannyasa. The human life is divided in four stages. Householder life, grihastha, is through the institution of marriage. Grihastha happens through the institution of marriage. First of all, the word institution means, what? There is a word, institution. What is the word? What does institution mean? Established format. Established format. Correct. Supposed to teach you something. Correct. Huh? Gives training. Institution, it gives training. Because you all can't hear. Are you able to hear, Anjani? You are not able to hear, no? That's why I am repeating. So the question is, what is institution means? Established setup. Supposed to teach you something. Training, teaching, training, along one. Institution means structured way of doing something. More than want. More than one. Viram. Correct. More than one. Check on him. Check his phone. After you go home, check his phone. Yeah, he's using it to say something. He's conveying a message. He's conveying, 2 week. Wow, 2 week. Doesn't matter. What is institution of marriage? Anything institutional, the intentions are always noble. What comes out of it is distinct and different from the original intention. Institution means the intentions will be noble, but actually what will come out of it is the opposite. I'll put it in a different way. Take it. Institution, slavery. Institutions equals slavery because there is a structure. It is essential. That structure is essential to whom? That structure is very essential to one who is highly gross and indisciplined. A structure is necessary. Are you able to follow? Institution nale yaro othar mela irukkaru. Somebody is there deciding everything. What did you say? Structured way of doing things. ஒரு routine இல்லையா? Some routine, some pattern, அவ்வளவுதான். There's nothing to. In a pattern, in a structure, you don't have to do anything. All that you have to do is what? Follow. Institution means a structure is maintained. All that you got to do is what? You follow. Human mind cannot follow. Human mind cannot follow. So what it will do, because of its weakness, it will go and join an institution because of its weakness, and then sitting inside that institution, what it will do? It will violate. Violate diplomatic, it will corrupt. Violation is a very diplomatic word. What it will do, it will get into, because of its own weakness, it will get into an institution. And what the mind will do after getting an institution, it will start corrupting the system. It will start corrupting the very institution itself. Are you okay till now? The Vedas, the Upanishads has said very clearly that of the 4 stages in life, Grihastha is a very, very necessary step. Are you okay with it till now? Marriage equals ashrama. Marriage equals grihastha ashrama. Brahmacharya ashrama. Aanu nalla sattama solum. Yeah, then only you'll understand. Brahmacharya ashrama. Grihastha ashrama. Shramana difficulty. Shramana enna artham? Difficulty. Ashramana no difficulty. Ashramana more difficulty. Are you able to understand? A pota non. A pota more. Perfect marriage, ideal marriage without any difficulties, sir. Maximum difficulty, it's an ideal marriage. Are you able to follow? Maximum difficulty means you are following the Shastras not. If you have maximum difficulty in your marriage, Shankar, if you have maximum difficulties in your marriage, Sadabhishekam varapuru. Yeah, Sashtipta Murthilam mudinjiruchu, isn't it? Sadabhishekam is going to come to you. 8 years of marriage. Maximum difficulty means you are living life according to the Shastras, scriptures, because ashrama. It is. Whether you like it or not, that's how it is. Sir, in compatible marriages, compatibility inradhu vandu hallucination. It's a myth. Take it or leave it. At least now you understand, no? Correct, no? It's a myth. There is no compatibility means what? Who will say yes to whom? Is that compatibility? We are going to see all that. We'll see all that one by one, and then we'll come to why this marriage is taken up as a study for third instinct. Rarely we get a chance to speak all this. Now that the topic is there, what all you want to say, we will say. What is marriage? Marriage arises out of a need. It rises out of a need, a necessity, a dependency. So the very root of it is dependency. Ashrama, we said. Grihastha, ashrama. Why it is ashrama? Because accommodating another is always ah. Everybody is very courageous today. Sriram is courageous. Ravi is courageous. Take care of him. Don't give him food for 3 days. Everybody is courageous today. Presaji, all couples are sitting here and all husbands are becoming very courageous today. It's not, it's very unnatural, isn't it? It's not natural for them to be so courageous. Should be courageous outside, not in front of the all. Srama nale. Srama means difficulty. It is difficult. What is the difficulty? Accommodating another is difficult. Are you okay till now? Accommodating another means what? Accommodating another means accommodating what of the other. That makes it difficult. The presence. What is it that you are supposed to accommodate that makes it that marriage shrama? Their emotions. Their emotions. What they will call it as necessity, you will call it as demand. What you will call it as necessity, the other person will call it as demand. This is not compatibility. This is where shrama comes. Are you able to follow? Where does shrama comes? The ability to accommodate. Very difficult. Correct. We both are on the same plane. We both are in the same plane. Ganesh is trying to join us, but he is not yet fully. Vijay Rangan is trying to, he's made an application. We have to consider his, whether we are considering Vijay Rangan. இன்னும் வெயிட்டிங் லிஸ்ட்ல தான் இருக்கீங்க நீங்க. நான் ரேஸ் எல்லாம் சேர்ந்தாச்சு ஆல்ரெடி இந்த குரூப். பால் பிச்சுக்கணும் போல இருக்கும். What is that? It is a very wonderful institution to learn and practice unselfishness. That's the road that marriage is supposed to take. The road of marriage is very useful for practicing accommodation, unselfishness, etc. But the very institution has become a herd instinct because they don't understand the purpose of that institution and see it in a completely different way. Because they are seeing it in a different way, everything about it appears to be shrama, difficult. But sir, marriage is supposed to be full of love, no? Marriage is supposed to be full of love. Huh? Very difficult is to understand what this. Even Brahman can be understood very easily. With people, it is easy to understand Brahman. But in the love innan, what is this love? We really don't understand at all. What is this? What is this love? That people talk about as the basis of marriage. அப்புறம் அதிலே ரெண்டு மேரேஜ், அரேஞ்ச்டு மேரேஜ், லவ் மேரேஜ். அது என்ன அரேஞ்ச்டு மேரேஜ் தெரியல, isn't it? I got arranged marriage only. I don't know what is that. Arranged marriage is like walking on the road. Hmm? Carefully follow. Arranged marriage is like walking on the road. Love marriage is walking up the hill. Road length winda, nothing will happen. You can get up and walk. Adiye kammi, exactly correct. True, it's true. You won't get that knocked. When you fall from the when you when you fall from the hill, the hurt is much more. Hmm? See, what people call as love is nothing but a, a very unintelligent familiarity. What people call as love is a very unintelligent familiarity. That very unintelligent familiarity itself becomes the cause for contempt. That's why marriage survived in the past, because familiarity wasn't allowed. Very few opportunities will be given to become familiar, because they know familiarity breeds contempt. So you become familiar, you will contempt only will come. Why? Because the hurt is deeper. Why the hurt is deeper? I'm not saying don't go for love marriage, go have arranged marriage. அது அவங்களோட choice. But we are only discussing, only explaining what both is. The desire, the dreams, the hopes, the expectations are all so high in the so-called love marriage, because you are falling from the hill. Expectations soar high. Expectations soar very high. When you fall from the hill, you are bound to get hurt more. You are bound to get hurt more. In an arranged marriage, it is very mechanical like. It's very mechanical like, because you don't get to the kick of romance. அதெல்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. You don't even, you, yeah, தாலி கட்டும் போதே நாராயணா, God only has to save me from now on. What's going to happen, we don't know. That's why we pray God. Agni, we keep as the Sakshi and all that, and say, please, all of you all together save me. We pray. It's very mechanical like in the beginning. It's very mechanical like in the beginning. Potentially, it can be like mechanical like forever also. It is still possible. Potentially, it can be mechanical like forever also. So, it doesn't really matter whether it is. So, it means what? The love marriage is one kind of herd instinct. Arranged marriage is another kind of herd instinct. Meaning, the very understanding of marriage doesn't happen. That's what he said. We are not saying get married, we are not saying don't get married. The idea is, don't treat this institution as a herd instinct. What is a herd instinct? The belief. What is the belief? Herd instinct is the belief. Hmm? What is the belief? Stability. Stability first. Stability is not going to come through any institution. Stability is going to come through your own. Stability is going to come through your own tapas and effort. Stability, no institution can give you stability. No institution can give stability. But marriage is seen as a institution that gives you protection, that gives you stability, that gives recognition. There is a recognition, there is a stability, there is a predictability. Marriage is not meant for all this. Thinking that marriage can give all this is herd instinct, because all these are not external. Because no institution can provide you predictability, no institution can provide you recognition, no institution can give you all this. Another thing, you get into it to get out of it. That is why in the 4 stages, from Grihastha Ashrama, the maturity to Vanaprastha. From Grihastha, you mature to Vanaprastha. It means when you get in, you have to get out. Getting out, not divorce. Correct, sir. I want to get out now. So, I am applying for divorce. அது insanity. It is not getting out. Getting out of that, having learned the joy and beauty of service and sacrifice, you don't restrict to that one too. Marriage is an institution that teaches you the joy of that. It should supposed to teach you that. Having learned that, it should not be restricted to that unit. That's marriage. So marriage teaches you something. Having learned it, it should spread. When it spreads, including the family, it spreads. It's not excluding the family. It is including the family. That's what Ramtirtha. The home should be the center of your affection and not the boundary of your affection. Ramtirtha says the home should be the center and not the boundary. In the initial stages, the family will be the home will be the boundary. Marriage teaches you that you have to get out of it. Unfortunately, what happens? The very institution of marriage has become so binding that the very bondage makes it the boundary. Are you able to follow? The very institution has become a bondage now. Instead of understanding that it's an institution that is teaching you to learn, to accommodate, to serve. Having learned this, why restrict it to only to a few? People don't understand it like this. But then everybody wants to get into the institution of. It doesn't really matter what word you use. It doesn't really matter. Because nowadays they don't like to use the word marriage. They use so many other, I don't know what all things they talk about. Doesn't really matter what word you use. It only means what? You are in need of somebody. You are in need of somebody. The emotional need is to give love and receive love. You need to show affection to some. You have to receive affection from some. Marriage is an institution that helps you to fulfill this need. Again, you need to give love and you need to receive love. Not understanding this, what happened? The very institution of marriage has become the very fundamental source of bondage. What was meant to liberate you itself has become the source of bondage. We talk about soulmate. Trying to remember that word. We are soulmates. Human beings, ignorance is this. Human beings' ignorance is whenever a human being gets into a difficulty, they will change the word. By changing the word, they believe they are doing something new, unique. Look at the human history. Nothing new can be done. Always human beings need another. What word you use? Because somebody didn't like the word marriage, they changed the word to soulmate. Soulmate also very. So somebody didn't like the word soulmate. They said, we are exploring. We are exploring. Good, explore. Very good. I'm not saying it's wrong. Yeah, exploring. God only knows what they are trying to explore. Third instinct என்ன explore பண்ண முடியும்? We are exploring. How can you marry a person that you don't know anything about, sir? You know, you can only marry a person when you don't know anything. The moment you know something about that person, why will you marry? Subha. Huh? Da Rajkumar முன்னாடியே சொல்லியிருந்தா, would you have said yes? Rajkumar is here. அவர் தான் marriage expert. He is the marriage expert in this entire congregation. He's a man, and he only will go on to marriage statistics. Who's happy? Who's not happy? He will go and ask. Huh? And he will do all the research. And the research thesis la என்கிட்ட தான் வரும். And then he will ask me, sir, it is correct. Still doing all that, no? Yeah, I know. You cannot stop. Sir, how can you marry a person that we don't know anything about? You can marry only when you know. To serve somebody, to sacrifice for somebody, you don't need to know the other. All that you need to have is love and sacrifice in you. Why do you need to know who that person is to love and sacrifice? Are you able to follow? The marriage. But how can you marry a person you don't know anything about? Okay. When can you say I know? Correct. When can you say I know? You can never say that. 50 years after marriage also they will still surprises. 8 years of marriage later also still surprises. It means you can knowing the other means knowing the mind. Carefully follow. Again I repeat. Knowing the other means knowing the mind. Unless you know your mind, you can never know the mind of another. Or you can go to a medical school trying to study about the mind, study about everything, and still you will be a victim of the mind. It means knowing the mind means you should know your mind. Are you able to follow? Marriage is a beautiful setup created for certain specific purposes. Without knowing that, getting into it is called herd instinct. Without knowing that, getting into it is called herd instinct. And most of the human beings get into it only because of herd instinct. ஒரு responsibility over, sir. Another reason. Why? இதெல்லாம் herd instinct. பாருங்க, கரெக்ட் தானே? Responsibility over, sir. எங்க over? Another drama is going to start. Another correct. Now, previously, if you are handling one person, now you have to handle 2 person. And the 2 will very soon become 3, 4. And you have to handle all the. Wow, yeah. I still remember my aunt will say that. You, Kalyana Madri, she will say, aunt, why are you saying this? Oh, she's in a very big It's a very big family. Oh my God. How she's surviving, God only knows. Imagine four brothers living together in the same house, and she is the eldest daughter-in-law. Everybody has three kids, and they have now their family is about 50 people now. Hmm. See, so your marriage, next I know what will happen, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen. Now, herd instinct. Are you able to follow? It is not. It's not a responsibility that's over. Another reason for seeing marriage as the way herd instinct is seen. Lastly, this is where the corruption actually starts. Lastly, it has been made into a highly unnatural moral ethical institution. That moral ethical thing that has come around this has created so much of agony and bitterness. We are not saying it is not ethical. Please carefully follow. Vedanta is not saying, Vedas are not saying it is, and because it has a tremendous value for Grihastha ashram. Hmm? But today it has become such a such a I don't know, not even diluted, such a wrong understanding about it. The husband is called Bharta, supporter. The wife is called Dharmapati. And traditionally, they always say in any prayer, in any ritual, anything that is done, the wife should be on the right hand side. Correct? Correct, huh? இருந்தா கூட வாத்திர மாத்தி நில்லுமோ he will say. Yeah. Come on to the right hand side. Yeah. Because she's always right. Huh? She's always right. That's why correct. Because she's she's saying I am not wedded to you. It is dharma that I am wedded. My job is to ensure that dharma is maintained. So both are supporting each other in the pursuit of dharma. That's why when he says Bharta supporter, supporter of what? Not the family. Because it is not one human being supporting another human being. One human being cannot support another human being. It is dharma that supports. It is dharma that protects. It is because of our misunderstanding we believe we are supporting, we are helping. What is actually supporting? What is actually helping? The the dharma. Therefore, Bharta means the supporter. Supporter of what? Supporter of dharma. Dharma Patrina wedded to dharma, not to that person. But today it has become a institution that is resulting in infatuation. The starting point of it is infatuation. The breaking, the starting point of marriage is infatuation. The end of infatuation is end of marriage. Are you able to follow? The starting point of marriage is starting point of infatuation. The end of infatuation becomes the end of marriage. For another round of infatuation. Another round of infatuation. Another round, and it Punaha api, punaha api. Vajagovinda. He says, Punarapi, Punarapi. Punarapi jananam, Punarapi maranam, Punarapi janani jatare. Again, Punaha api means again and again and again, the person keeps doing the same thing again and again, not understanding why it is happening. That is called herd instinct. Are you able to follow? Doing it again and again and again, not understanding why and what and everything. That is why it is called as herd instinct. What is the purpose of an institution of the marriage? Ability to accommodate one person. Both together say We support each other in the pursuit of dharma. And once you are matured enough, they go their way, you go your way. That is vanaprastha. And still matured, you get to the level of sannyasa, moksha. So marriage is an institution, is a stepping stone to what? Vanaprastha, sannyasa, moksha. Abdinna, it's a stepping stone towards the ultimate purpose of moksha. Today, totally unconnected to this concept, marriages are treated. In that way, it is bound to fail. Why? Because infatuation ends. How long you can be infatuated? Huh? Infatuation can happen only when you don't get familiar. The moment you become familiar, infatuation will go. Have you ever noticed that? As long as you are not familiar, infatuation will be there because there's a lot of scope for you to dream, imagine, have hopes, etc. The moment you know that person, reality. Hmm? In marriage, everybody says better partner, ideal, ideal partner. There's no such thing called ideal partner. There is a partner, avladhan. It is in your hands to make it ideal or not. That is not known. Therefore, the very institution of marriage has become a painful, very painful situation today is the very marriage. We are not talking about marriage in a pessimistic way. We are not talking about marriage as though you should not get married. Only saying it's a need, understand it, and then should have gotten it. But nobody does it. Why nobody does it? Because human beings are a victim of herd instinct. Human beings are a victim of herd, herd instinct. Are you okay till now? Hmm? What are the what are the usefulness of marriage? Usefulness of marriage is always related to how individually you are making use of it. How individually you are making use of it. Mandodari had a very successful marriage, a failure marriage. Huh? Within herself, it is very within herself. She never had a problem. It means it has got nothing to do with the. It means it has got nothing to do with the other. You follow? But the human mind always says it is entirely dependent on the other. That is why we pay so much of attention on the other. Why we take so much of care to find the best other? Because in that best, marriage will be stable. Stability is not because of the other. Stability is because of how you understand and deal with it. So it has got nothing to do with the, you follow me? But again, marriages are not seen in that manner. Then what happens? impulsive way of living continues. Impulsive, infatuated way of living continues. And you will move from one infatuation to the other. Marriage is an institution to break this pattern of moving because of infatuation. It's a very important discipline that will lead you to moksha. We said moksha, for moksha, marriage is a stepping stone. What, how, when it will become a stepping stone? But sir, எங்களுக்கு அந்த ஐடியாலே இல்லையே. We don't have that idea of moksha. எல்லாம் எங்களுக்கு அதை பத்திலாம் கவலையே கிடையாது. Why are you getting so excited about all this? We are not interested in all that. We are only saying ideal person இருந்துட்டா I'll be happy. That's what the misunderstanding of marriage is. Therefore, we try to choose the ideal person, perfect person. You can say ideal, you can say perfect, you can say compatible, or you can say soulmate, or you can say that person, sir. The heart missed a beat. Dialogues they say. He saw that person and the heart missed a beat. Right. Fantastic it is. How juvenile it is. How childish it is. It's okay to be, see, at that age, it's okay. At 12 and 13, heart will miss a beat. At 12 and the heart will miss a beat. It's perfectly understandable. It's okay. Appo miss avlanada, it's a problem. Yeah, if it doesn't miss a beat only, something is very, very wrong. No. Supposing at 13, if the person says, instead of heart missing the beat, let us study. Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha, ubayor abhidrishtu. If the fellow starts talking all that, okay. Something is not right. Something is not right. So, missing a beat and all is not. It will miss and then it will cling. It will whip itself. It will miss. It will go and cling and whip itself. It will miss. It will go and cling and whip. Institution of marriage is a wonderful disciplinarian tool. It's a disciplinarian tool. It is no doubt. It is no doubt. It's an institution disciplinarian tool, and this disciplinary and the disciplinarian tool is very essential. It's very essential because otherwise, what will break the impulsive pattern of the mind? Otherwise, what will break the impulsive nature of the mind? The mind will continue to be, you will be only pampering the impulsive nature of the mind. All this wrong notion, wrong understanding about marriage is there because it's seen followed as herd instinct. It is simply followed as the herd instinct. Follow. In any discipline, discipline means a pain. Discipline means pain. That pain purifies you. That pain is the purifying. That pain is the purifying factor. But the mind doesn't want. The mind doesn't want that pain. Mind doesn't want pain. The ancient Sanskrit literature gives an example. The gold comes with all dirt. For it to shine, when the gold comes, it doesn't come like this. It comes with full of dirt. It comes. So the way to get rid of the dirt is to go by allowing itself to go through the fire. It has to enter the fire and come out. So the pain, the discipline is there for your purification. This is not understood in the institution of marriage. That's what he's trying to say. Without understanding these factors, the institution of marriage is seen as herd, herd instinct. In fact, everything about human life is herd instinct. Yeah. Which school to go, herd instinct. Which country to go, herd instinct. Which job to take, herd instinct. Marriage, herd instinct. Where it is, why? Because in herd instinct, carefully follow. In herd instinct is a very convenient tool to keep blaming everybody. Again, I repeat, herd instinct is a very convenient tool to blame everybody around you, because what you tell yourself, I'm such an innocent victim, I just did what I was. What an excuse, no? Are you able to follow? Herd instinct is a convenient tool to escape. Correct. To escape responsibility. Marriage is institution that says you have a responsibility. And running away from responsibility is cowardice. That's what we say. Running away from responsibility or fearing the pain of responsibility is being a coward. Then what is it? You stay put. Stay put for what? Stay put because for the goal. What is the goal? What is the goal? This is how you purify yourself. This purification is necessary. Purification is necessary. அப்படின்னா எதுவுமே பார்க்கக்கூடாதா சார்? Does it mean anybody I should marry? No, no, no. That's not what is being said. What is being said? Those are not the primary factors. The non-essentials are given the status of the essential is what we are discussing. Able to follow now? Compatibility you see in the family things. Yes, there are so many things that people see. All that are the non-essential factors. What is the essential factor? Marriage is a institution that is necessary because it caters to my need, and by fulfilling the need, I purify myself. Without understanding like this, people get into marriage as a hard instinct. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, it looks like as though don't get married. Marriage is a all marriages are failure. Then why do you want to go on? Why do you want to go on? Willingly get into suffering. As far as Vedas are concerned, as far as Vedanta is concerned, all stages in life is ashrama only. Brahmacharya, ashrama, student life. Grihastha, ashrama. Vanaprastha, ashrama. Sannyasa, ashrama. இப்போ எப்பதான் சிரமம் இல்லை? when the shrama goes, mukti அங்கதான். அது வரைக்கும் ஸ்ரமா தான். Courage to take it up. The institution of marriage gives you a training, a courage of what? Just to accommodate one person in life. And that one person takes away all the goodness from your life. Huh? Look at that. Marriage is just accommodating one person. Sir, that one person only takes away energy pochi. Energies are going. Problems are coming. Nothing is happening. The need is to give love and receive love. See, the need is to give love and receive love. Needs can be fulfilled gross, ugly manner. Needs can be fulfilled aesthetically. Again, needs can be taken care of aesthetically. Needs can be fulfilled gross, ugly manner. Now, what in Vedanta they have done? Instead of cursing you and suffocating you and making you not follow your needs, they say, do it, take care of your needs aesthetically. Aesthetics means some pain, some discipline. Aesthetics means some pain, discipline. That's aesthetics, isn't it? You are hungry, you can eat in a very, when you are hungry, you can eat in a very clumsy, ugly way, or you can eat in a very, that's all the difference. You have to eat. Nobody has a freedom from eating. Yeah, nobody can escape eating. 3 days, I didn't eat, sir. I'll say, first doctor Parango will say. Isn't it? We will not throw a party and say that person has conquered hunger. Huh? Supposing my daughter comes and tells me 3 days, I'm not feeling hungry at all, I will not throw a party and say, my daughter has conquered hunger. I'll get so worried that first thing I'll take her to. So, there is a aesthetic way and then there is a gross way. What is the definition of aesthetics? Beauty. Aesthetic, na, other synonym. Aesthetics, na, beauty, na, that is synonym. It's like saying, focus, na, concentration, na, focus and ramadriyad. Yeah, human beings, replacing with words they think they have understood. Synonyms is not a definition. So what does aesthetics means? A discipline. Aesthetics means a discipline. Mind will resist all forms of disciplines. In every form discipline is given, mind will resist. You follow? So, a very vital institution that is marriage, today has become the greatest cause for the biggest cause for suffering is the institution of marriage. It's not the institution of marriage. It is not proper, just herd instinct. Just getting into it with herd instinct has resulted in this. Therefore, in the herd instinct topic, one institution of marriage is taken up for understanding purposes. You follow? It's it's a very, very beautiful, essential, integral tool. It's a very essential tool. It's a very integral, because human beings cannot live in isolation. Human beings need association. How am I going about it? Selfishly or unselfishly? Today it is done in a highly selfish, that it is that selfishness, that which is supposed to help you to get out of selfishness, is making you more selfish. Now what to do? Are you able to follow? Marriage is an institution that is supposed to help you to get out of your selfishness, isn't it? You know, it is true also. You start actually loving your parents after you become a parent, isn't it? Actually, till then you will be affectionate. Till then you will be very affectionate. You are free from the childhood. You will be affectionate to them. But the real respect, the real affection, looking up to and all comes when? After you become a parent. Wow. How they and looking at that, and when I look back at me, oh my God. Angel, no, theirs. மதர்னு சொன்னா கூட ஏஞ்சல் தான். அப்புறம் என்ன? They're all compared to the misery that I gave to my father, vis-a-vis the misery that my daughter is giving to me, comparison இல்லங்க. I said, oh my God, how, when I look at how he even survived, how he didn't, every day was a heart attack. Every day was a heart attack. Are you able to follow? It's a beautiful institution. It's a wonderful institution. That which is supposed to teach you to move from selfishness to unselfishness. Having learnt it, spread the fragrance. Don't confine it. Where will you learn it? You can't simply say love, love, love. It doesn't work. Be affectionate to everybody, love everybody. It doesn't actually work. Therefore, what they did to actually bring it into an experience, they said, if you can do it with one person, but that other person is very important, no? Another problem starts. Correct, sir? It is that one person. But that one person is very important. They plunge into relationship, hardly any thought, reason, or understanding backing it. The only reason that people get into a relationship is what? ஒரே ரீசன் தான் இன்னைக்கெல்லாம் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் உள்ள போறதுக்கு. வாட் இஸ் த ஒன்லி ரீசன்? இன்ஃபேச்சுவேஷன். ஸோ why are you talking so bad, sir? We are talking so gross about people. We are all, it's true love. What is true love? What is true love? Sacrifice. True love means the elbow room. True love means sacrifice. True, that is, opposite of that is in love there is no right. In love there is only duties. In infatuation, every talk is about this is my right, this is my right, this is my right. This is my right, sir. Because these are the days of rights, no, as they say. Everything is about rights, isn't it? Patients' rights, doctor's right, husband's right, wife's right, children's right. Everything is right, life is wrong. எல்லாம் ரைட் ரைட்டா எல்லாம் இருக்குது பேப்பர்ல. எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் ரைட் ஆன் பேப்பர். லைஃப் இஸ் completely wrong. Why? Because it's not rightly understood. So what is he saying here is, for most of us, it doesn't really make any difference whether we know the reason or not. Yeah, but still, it is very important to break the herd instinct thinking. Able to follow? It is not based on this you go and choose. It's not. It is not meant for that. It is meant for everybody in terms of breaking the herd instinct pattern. The typical example of herd instinct is the way people treat the institution of marriage. They plunge into relationships with hardly any thought, reason, judgment, packing it. Break the herd instinct. Also, marriage is taken up as a important thing for discussion, because the way in which people get emotional about it, no other thing can make you that emotional. Another reason. Why? Because nothing can make you as emotional as the talk of, be it whatever you call it, a successful marriage or failure marriage, doesn't matter. The very talk of marriage is very, very, very emotional, where you feel that there is nothing to talk about it because you already No, 8. They plunge into relationships, no thinking, no understanding of where is the road leading to. If I walk on this road, where should I? Where should I reach? Where should I end up? That is the right understanding of. With this, we conclude this discussion for today. Next week, we'll study the text, the 6 reasons, and then we'll try to connect all that we discuss. We'll try to